Hello everyone and welcome to Glasses in Session. Today we're going to be doing some polish and patina. I have yet to finish the 33 bird project that I started several weeks ago. However, I want to kind of switch gears and go to patina and polish at this point. I've got my birds set out here beside me, about 20 of them or so. And there's still some wire reinforcements, still some hooks, eyes, stuff like that to be added. But I'm kind of tired of soldering, so I'm just not going to today. I'm going to instead finish out several of the birds that I have finished soldering. So let's get started. Just so you know, patina, this is patina. It's a paint that stains solder. So I've got copper patina and black patina to change the solder whatever I want, or I can just leave it silver. And then I've also got some polish, which is going to really give the glass a nice shine. So I'm going to start with the dove, because this actually I'm not going to put any patina on at all. So I'm just going to put polish on this. So I'm going to lay out a towel below. And then give the polish a good shake because the minerals inside tend to separate a bit. And you're just going to apply just enough to cover the piece. So a couple like drips per piece. And you want to smooth it out, make sure every surface is covered. And then I'm going to take another cloth and just rub that off. Some people will wait until the polish dries and it's crusty, and that's a lot easier to get off. But I prefer to do it while it's wet, one, because it saves time, and two, because it forces me to work a little bit harder to get it off. So when it's crusty, it's kind of like wax. It just comes right off easily if you've ever waxed your car. Okay, see, look at that. Those are all the imperfections, dust, dirt that has accumulated on the piece. Now I suggest polishing one side, wiping it off, and then flipping it, because I don't want all these imperfections getting on this towel. Well, as little as possible, that is. If I flipped it now and then polished the other side, put polish on the other side, it would look a little bit like this, but instead we just get a really faint outline and we don't have to redo as much work. So now I'm going to polish this side. Just a thin film over the entire thing is all you need. And already you can see the polish darkening over the dove with the imperfections that I'm about to rub out. So this is what gives stained glass a really nice shine. This polish here. I've also cleaned each of these pieces with just regular hand soap. Obviously I had to use another chemical to remove the flux, it's a bit of a thinker. It's called flux remover. I already used that on all these pieces directly after soldering them, but I wanted to clean them again just to make this a little bit easier. Wow, that shine is much improved. So I'm going to move it to a different spot on the towel and do the first side again, just to, in case any of this gunk got on the back side. And there we are. This piece is actually now done. I'm really happy with it. So that'll hang in a window. This is a dove sun catcher. All done. Okay. Let's move on to something that'll take a little bit more time. Some patina, although not something too difficult. So now I'm going to do my raven. This one's going to get black patina. And for this, I'm actually going to change this towel out, because I do not want patina and polish on the same towels. You'll find out later why that is. So I'm going to grab a fresh towel that I have stacked over here on the side. You'll need several rags for this. stage if you're doing multiple pieces. And I'm going to take my black patina. Some people will use Q-tips to apply it. I'm going to do that at first just to show you how it works. Just touch it to the side and it will stain on contact the solder. And you can take this off really easily with steel wool. That's pretty much the only thing that'll take it off very easily, but otherwise it will not come off. Washing it, scrubbing it with regular brushes, that won't do anything. It needs to be wire. This actually takes a layer of the solder off, a very thin layer, but you've actually got to scratch it off. Okay, and to do this, I recommend filling a cap with patina because when you place this end back into the lid, or back into the patina, whether it's in the bottle or the lid, it's actually going to contaminate the patina and get some of these imperfections in there that I've yet to polish off. So when I'm done with this cap, if it's clear enough, I'll throw it back in the bottle, but sometimes if it gets too dirty, I'll just throw it out. Okay, so this is the long way, but it's sometimes nice because you've got to get right along that edge, which is sometimes difficult. I'm definitely going to go ahead and do his mouth right now because I won't be able to get that with the faster method. I'm going to use a Q-tip until it's expired, like till it's pretty much just fluff. It's disconnected from the main part. Okay, so I got his mouth done. That's probably one of the only parts I won't be able to get to with the other method, which is using a rag. Down in here will probably be a good idea to get. And I'll probably touch up the edges too, just because it's a little bit difficult to be precise with a rag. And this side is still pretty intact. It's a little bit soft, kind of losing its form, but it'll still go for a little while longer. I'm going to move this just so that doesn't get spilled. Okay, that's my polish rag. So I need another rag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to empty. You can either put patina into the rag directly, or you can spill it on the piece. I prefer the piece because it seems to spread better and it seems to last longer. So I'm just going to drip a couple parts. Kind of like the polish, but you don't spread it around. You just take a rag and you go to town. Just like the polish. Only this time you're aiming for the solder instead of the glass. So I'm going to take a look at my rag, see if I can see the blue. There's a little bit there. So if you put on a rag, you have to move that one spot that you added it to across the entire piece. Here, I applied it to several parts on the rag because it was on several different places on the bird. But now I'm looking for a bit more precision, so I'm going to add it to the rag. Keep track of where I put that on. Do the edges. And see, this appears brown on the towel. It is called black patina, but it's really more of a bronze. Especially if you use a specific kind of brush on it, which buffers it. It's really, really nice. It's interesting that the liquid is, blue. It goes on black. I think the chemistry of that is really fascinating, whatever that might be. I'm not familiar with it. Okay, I'm running out of patina here, so I'm going to spice up a different part of the rag. See, I wouldn't be able to get this rag in the mouth very easily. Get under his chin. It's pretty easy to tell what you have and have not gotten. Definitely going to need Q-tip for the hook. I'm going to use the new side. There we go. Around the eye, that could use some precision as well. So did get some of the edges here where the solder meets the glass. A little bit of touch up. You can never have too much patina, but you also don't want to waste it. Also, you want to definitely make sure that all your flux is off the piece, not only because it can deteriorate it and steal its color, but this stuff won't stick if there's flux present on the piece. It's very important that it's clean before you do this. Imagine doing a coloring book and your only color is black. The only space is 2 colors of solder. That's pretty much how it works. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to take a rag and both wipe off the excess patina, and by doing so, it's going to easily touch up any parts that I might have missed, which I don't think there are any, but just kind of helps to make use of that other patina by absorbing into the cloth or running it along the piece. Oh, there's a part I did miss. There we are. Okay, now that this guy has patina on him, I'm going to return the previous rag to its place. We're going to put some polish on him. Same as before. Shake it. Make sure it's well mixed. Just a couple spots per side. You can see a little bit easier than the Dove now because it's black glass. You just need it to cover. Very thin layer. And again, take it off prior to flipping the piece so that you have less on the bottom rag that needs cleaned off. Now the reason I'm using different rags for patina and polish is because I do not want to use a rag to polish something that has copper patina on it when it's going to remain silver or have black patina. They can actually override each other. Just a tiny, just a trace of black patina in a cloth will color the solder, and if I want it to remain silver, then I'm out of luck. I'll have to take steel wool and scrape it off, start over. Well, at least in that section. If I put like black patina on a copper piece, I'll have to just scratch that and then replace it. You don't want to restart the whole piece. I want it a little bit thicker. Okay. You find a non-dirty part of the rag, because if you rub it with a spot like this, it's not going to do nearly as much, because that's actually putting imperfections back on at the same time as taking them off. Like it could leave a trace. We don't want that. There we are. There's a second piece completed. Now we'll do a copper. Let's see, who's copper? Ooh, yes, the painted bunting is going to have copper patina. It's got a lot of bright colors, doesn't really have any black at all. A piece like this, the Blue Jay has several black pieces in it, so I want to reinforce those with black patina. But like this piece has no black, no dark, so the black wouldn't really benefit this piece at all, but it's completely up to you. This wire that's across the head, the patina will have the exact same effect on that as the solder. So for copper, it doesn't stay quite as well as black. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but I'm going to go ahead and put a very thin layer of polish on both sides using the excess from my hand for the other side. I'm going to polish it just a little bit first because copper patina doesn't seem to stick quite as well. And I'm using that rag. I need to be using a new rag for copper. I noticed that because it's getting a lot dirtier than it should have been. It's because it was picking up imperfections from the other side. I don't want that. You don't have to wash the piece prior to doing this, but it does make your job a little bit easier. Keeps your rags a little bit cleaner and you can use them more often. Okay, so we got that done. I'm going to go ahead and use this rag for the patina. So I got my black there. Copper is actually a much darker blue. Black patina is kind of a sky blue. This is more of a cobalt. Okay. So I don't see any pieces really that are going to make it tricky to use a rag, so I'm just going to go for it. Do touch-ups after. Okay, so you can see the copper. It kind of resembles the color of the foil that's underneath the solder. Although that copper is pretty dirty because I'm using this rag, so I'll flip it over. A little bit more on this side because I'm not quite happy with that tone of patina. Nice. Yeah, that's good. So it kind of blends with the yellow really nicely. And copper and blue don't look too bad next to each other. Make sure I got the edges. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need a Q-tip for the hook. Let me get some more in my cap. Alrighty. This guy's ready for some polish. Okay, now this side. I'm totally overdoing it right now. Beautiful. Okay, so that is black, silver remaining, and copper. So I'm going to go ahead and end the recording here because that's pretty much all there is to it. There's no tips and tricks or different things that you can do to make it easier. Well, obviously there are, but that's really all there is to it right here.